As a doctor, what's the saddest thing that's happened to your patient? Doctor, can you please get me a priest? I have something to confess. I was an internal medicine resident, on call one night at a university hospital in the Midwest United States. This was back in the 1980s when AIDS was less well understood than it is now. Nurses called me to talk to a patient, a Catholic priest who was having trouble breathing. He had rash, flat purple-brown spots, that looked very much like Kaposi's sarcoma. Kaposi's is a tumor of soft tissues and skin that is very rare and is usually associated with HIV, but he was a priest and he swore on everything holy that he had no risk factors for HIV. He'd never had sex and certainly not with a man. He did not use drugs, he'd never had a transfusion, nothing. And he was believable. He swore he must have some other cause of immunosuppression. His blood test came back positive for HIV, but he assured us it was impossible. Look, my role is to heal, not to judge. We all figured we knew what was really going on, but he wasn't my patient so I didn't worry about it, until that night when I was on call and his oxygen saturation started falling. On exam, he was breathing more rapidly but still had adequate breath sounds. He had a dry cough, as I remember. I put him on an oxygen mask and ordered a chest x-ray. The x-ray showed a diffuse, reticular infiltrate that was consistent with pneumocystis pneumonia. This is another opportunistic infection, a fungus, that can be a problem for immunocompromised people, including those who are HIV positive with a low CD4 count. Over the next hours, he went downhill. It was after midnight when he called for me. He knew he was dying, and his life was in the church, and he asked me to get him the Catholic priest on call. I tracked him down and explained the situation. I died inside when the on-call priest told me his colleague was going to hell for being gay and there was no way he would drive all the way to the hospital just so a sinner would feel better. I sat with the patient and told him some lie to excuse the on-call priest. He patted my hand and said, "I understand and thanked me for trying." His respiratory status worsened. By morning he was intubated. He died never having had a chance to confess.